So the Supreme Court made a ruling, the one that involves that one issue that makes every single American an irrational monster. You know the one. People just love to fight about it. And, they never bring logic or reason into the discussion. It's always straight to emotion. Everybody's so emotional about this issue. Of course, the political issue that I'm talking about, the decision that the Supreme Court just made, involves the other one, gun control. In New York City, a place where you're just not allowed to carry a gun, to have a concealed pistol on you. It's basically impossible to get a concealed carry permit in New York City. The Supreme Court said that that's kind of bullshit. And I kind of agree with this. I think in places like Chicago and Los Angeles and New York City, telling people that they can't carry guns there doesn't really do much good, because the only people listening to that rule are going to be the people that listen to rules. The people with guns that you want to look out for are the rule breakers, not the rule followers. I hate to be the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun guy, but I gotta say something that that the pro-gun people will like, because I'm about to say a lot of stuff that they don't like. So buckle up, gun boys. You're about to get triggered, because triggers are like on a gun. It's a pun. It's a gun pun. I'll get to the point. I want to complain a little bit about the gun YouTube channels. You know the gun YouTubers.
Giddy up, partners.
Ah, yes. Gun YouTubers. I'll be honest, a part of me enjoys some of the content that some of these channels puts out. Some of these channels, they're actually not that bad. But a bigger part of me enjoys watching the shit channels. Whether I hate watching them or just like watching them as if they were an anthropological study, I enjoy watching this content. And I'm about to enjoy shitting on it, because some of this content is just absurd, especially the smaller channels, like God, Family, and Guns, which is exactly what it sounds like. I mean, they even have a video theorizing on what sort of gun Jesus would have carried. And the end times are near. God, I love YouTube. All the videos are just this preacher talking about the Bible and Bible verses and being a Christian, and he somehow finds a way to relate it to firearms.
What kind of gun would Jesus carry? I'm going to start off by saying, to really guess the type of gun a guy would carry, I think you really have to get to know that person. In Ezekiel, and
he looks and sounds and kind of acts like Alex Jones if Alex Jones weren't on stimulants all the time. It's brilliant if you like watching things ironically, because you hate yourself, like me. But then there are the gun channels that are huge. They have millions of subscribers. Just listen to how this guy talks.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, like and comment. The comment section is a little bit out of control, but you know what? YouTube is now sponsoring us, so that means that they can regret their decision ever bit more.
Yeah, so he's a fucking psychopath.
This video is sponsored by...
What they really do on their channel is shoot things that are supposed to be as similar to human bodies as possible. Like replica heads that are like the strength of the human skull, filled with blood, and they see what happens when you shoot one point blank with a shotgun. It's kind of weird.
All right.
But the main thing I want to talk about in this video, the main gun channel, is a little bit smaller of a channel called Ethical Preparedness. And ethical preparedness...
Freedom seats for everyone!
It is a beautiful, beautiful piece of art.
Freedom seats!
Ethical preparedness, like many of these gun channels, is sort of a doomsday prepper type channel. And a lot of the doomsday prepping involves, guns and ammo and what kind of gun to get.
If you break this rule, you end up dead.
He teaches you how to garden and how to dry meat and, interesting survival things. But really, the main thing that got his channel views, the channel's bread and butter really, is about how to get away with killing someone in self-defense. But he specifically has all of these tips. Don't say anything to the police. Make sure you come back in a couple days to give a detailed statement with a lawyer. And a lot of them make sense, I suppose, for the people that find themselves in this situation. But some of them really just come off as shady. I don't know how else to describe it. It's
The worst time to try to be answering detailed questions from the police, because you might get too many things innocently wrong, incorrect. You might have memories of what happened out of sequence. Make sure that the evidence that you point out to the responding police, the evidence is left so that it corroborates your story.
It's strange that someone has made an entire YouTube career off of telling people what to do when they kill someone. There are plenty of channels that do this on YouTube, believe it or not. But this guy takes it a step further, because in every single one of his videos, always at least twice, but sometimes 4 or 5, I don't know, maybe 10 times in his long videos, he mentions this thing, this product, this service that he is selling.
Now, folks, I will tell you this up front. You really need to belong to a legal self-defense plan like Firearms Legal Protection. When you belong to a legal protection like that, they will provide you with those expert defense attorneys for free. Folks, these attorneys to fight for you in court would normally cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Firearms Legal Protection.
Firearms Legal Protection. He links to this in all of his videos. This is his thing.
Firearms Legal Protection attorney by your side, helping you prepare that statement so the truth cannot be misconstrued and used in
Basically what it is, it's like insurance. Every month or every year you make a payment, and in the off chance that you ever kill someone in self-defense, they will cover all the costs of the lawyers.
If you have ever thought to yourself that it seems to be rare that a police officer ever gets arrested or charged after a police action shooting, it's not because they are police officers that they don't get charged.
Okay, then why is it?
It is because that they get free expert self-defense attorneys that's given to them through their police unions.
What are you saying?
Folks, as a 20-year police veteran, I just believe that if you are involved in a self-defense shooting, that you deserve the same legal protection that police officers get when they get involved in a police action shooting.
Why? The police are going into dangerous situations every day. It is far more likely that they are going to be in a situation where they have to use a firearm to defend themselves. Of course, the police have a little bit of an extra safety net. You think all civilians should have access to this? Civilians don't have training. Civilians don't have the judgment that police are at least supposed to have. I mean, my God, we talk about cops not being well trained, but how do you think the average civilian stacks up against them? Police need this sort of legal backup in the same way that surgeons need malpractice insurance, but the average civilian should not be putting himself into situations where he thinks police levels of self-defense insurance are justified. We don't need people running around like they're cops. This does not encourage good behavior.
Your expert defense attorney will make sure that the truth of what happened is given in a way that it cannot be misconstrued to be used against you. They're going to make sure that when the truth is given, that the prosecutor sees no other way but to make sure charges aren't dropped or aren't filed against you.
If you really want to get away with that murder, you subscribe to Firearm Legal Protection. You can see the prices for right here. It's insane. Who's going to pay $430 a year for something that it's so unlikely to happen unless you're planning on it happening, unless you're going out and looking for it. It's so rare that you're going to have to shoot somebody in self-defense. So while editing this video, I looked into it, and there are a bunch of these things. I mean, I figured there would be other scams like this, but they're considered less scam-like than I would have thought. It's called self-defense insurance, and it's pushed by gun entities and what you would expect. I've found a lot of articles that seem to be giving self-defense advice, but really they're just cleverly disguised advertisements for whatever defense insurance they're selling. This one is CCW Safe. this is a thing, I guess. Who does this work on? Who thinks that they need this? Even if you do have to use your gun to defend yourself, if you truly used it to defend yourself, then you're probably not going to get charged with a crime. So just like, only kill people when you absolutely have to. And now you're going to say, oh, well, you've never been in that situation. You don't know how you'd handle yourself. How can you speak with any authority on this? Well, let me tell you, a little over a year ago, I had a bum break into my house. When I found out this was going on, I grabbed my revolver, ran downstairs, ran to where he was. He noticed me and then ran for the door, but then he saw the gun that I was holding at my side and he froze. I asked him what he had stolen from us so far. He opened up his backpack like this, and there was just an energy drink in it. I left an energy drink out. He slowly reached over to me and handed it back, and I let him go because he was fucking terrified. My life was never in danger. If he started walking towards me, then maybe my life would be in danger. But you just gotta know how to act in certain situations. If you don't need to shoot the guy, don't shoot the guy.
If you get involved in a self-defense shooting, your local prosecutor is going to scrutinize every step that you took in your self-defense shooting.
Good! Don't we want prosecutors approaching things like this with a little bit of scrutiny?
And if you get arrested after your self-defense shooting, you could be facing murder charges.
It seems like most people, most gun owners, wouldn't need this insurance. They push this narrative that you're going to be absolutely screwed even if you're totally innocent to convince gullible people to buy this insurance. And they also open the door for people that want to commit things, that know they're gonna be guilty. It opens the door for them being able to get out of it, or at least be much more likely to get out of it. This does not seem like something that should exist. I guess I shouldn't really be surprised that this service exists because there are products such as Legal Shield, which is essentially just legal defense insurance. But services like these are usually only used by business owners and landlords and rich people. And while something like Legal Shield can be used for firearm defense cases, I find it strange that a bunch of companies exist just to sell insurance for this specific purpose. I understand that it's legal and maybe even common. I just find it a little strange. And I mean, maybe it's a stretch to say that this is going to encourage people to maybe use their gun in situations where maybe they shouldn't. Maybe that's a stretch for me to say that, but I don't think it's a stretch to say that it's a little exploitative for these would-be gun users. If you're a landlord or a business owner or even a rich person, it's much more likely that you're going to be sued. If you're a doctor, you have malpractice insurance. But defending yourself with your gun, that's just so unlikely. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not a total scam. If you carry a gun and you have a lot of money, you might as well get this. So I don't mean to insult you if you are a gun owner and you do have this. I get it. Okay, I totally get it, but I guess I'm just a little weirded out that services like this exist. But if we look specifically at the firearms legal protection, we can see that they actually offer something quite special. Not only will they pay for a defense team to come and defend you from your murder charge, they also will come to your aid if you need to defend yourself from the red flag laws. Do you know what the red flag laws are? They're also called the extreme risk protection orders. If someone is going crazy and threatening to go shoot a bunch of people or threatening to kill his wife with his gun, the police can take the gun. Red flag laws. Pretty self-explanatory. Also seems like a pretty necessary law to have. But if you sign up for firearms legal protection, you can. Okay, he's selling doomsday prepper shit. All of these gun people do. They sell protein packs and food shortage and water filters and all sorts of bullshit things for the people fantasizing about the end of the world. This is a service that deals with fantasy. There are a lot of people out there just fantasizing, just loving the idea of having an excuse to kill somebody, to be fucking Dirty Harry, to be John McClane in Die Hard. This is Death Wish. I get to fucking yeah. If you're thinking about wandering into the ghetto with a Glock at your hip and, being threatened by the first guy that begs you for change, this is probably something that you should buy, right? This is crazy. But I didn't make this video just to finger wag and shame and make fun of some product that absolutely needs to be brought to light. I'm not just doing that because any YouTuber can do that. I want to present my own ideas. I'm creative. I want to add to the discussion, not just nag and bitch. I want to have a little bit of imagination. I have a plan. What we do is we advertise this product to gang members in Chicago. The south side of Chicago, where like 10 people die every day from gang violence, where they shoot each other. Look, the basic plan that still like gives you like a legal defense if you kill somebody in self-defense, it's only $9.95 a month. I mean, just any would-be gang member who's out there trying to protect his hood, keeping the peace on his block, should subscribe to this. Who's to say that all of these shootings aren't in self-defense? I mean, yeah, usually it's people just like driving by some house and firing guns indiscriminately into it, or sneaking up on somebody and shooting them. But I mean, if you sneak up to a gang member and shoot him, there's a good chance he'd have a gun on him anyway. So then you'd have a pretty good case that he pulled the gun on you first and then you had to shoot him. Like, there's unlimited opportunities for many people in the south side of Chicago to get out of murder charges if they have this crack team of defense lawyers from Firearms Legal Protection. Let's get gang members to subscribe to Firearms Legal Protection, and let's see how long it fucking lasts then.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Share the video. Spread the word about whatever this is, because this is not a good trend for America. It is a trend that is very indicative of America. This entire service, it's a great symbol. It's an omen. It's so perfect. It is so perfect. Like, of course this would exist. Of course this would fucking exist in today's day and age. But maybe let's try and, I don't know, make things better or something.